I am very guilty. One thing I had absolutely no idea about before we moved into the burrito was what the heck a heat pump was. Today we are going to dive into the difference between a heat pump and a furnace, when you should be using a heat pump versus a furnace, and more importantly, why you should be using a heat pump versus a furnace.
What is up, you guys? It is Sam and Lauren. We are the trailer couple dedicated to that simple life, and it is another wonderful day to learn something new in our burrito. For those of you newbies, we call our trailer a burrito. That's all the explanation needed. Moving on.
So now that we have been living full-time in the burrito for a little under 2 years, I feel like I finally have an understanding of what a heat pump is, and we both have a good understanding of when we should be using the heat pump as compared to the furnace. So let's get into it.
Let's put 101 seconds on the clock and simplify it.
There are other options to heat your RV besides a heat pump or a furnace, but these are the two big ones. So what is a heat pump and how does it compare to a furnace? A heat pump works similar to a refrigerator. They use electricity to transfer heat from one place to another, depending on where it is needed. In cooler months, a heat pump can transfer heat from outside to inside your RV to keep things warm. Minus a few technical details, this works nearly identically to how your air conditioner cools your unit in the summer months, just a transfer of heat in the opposite direction.
A furnace, on the other hand, uses some sort of fuel, typically propane for an RV or trailer. This fuel is burned and heat is distributed through ductwork to keep you warm. So, which one should we be using and when? What we've learned over the past 2 years is that the heat pump is usually the better option.
The heat pump works extremely well when the outside temperature is around 45 degrees. When it's around 45 degrees outside, we can keep the inside of the burrito at a comfortable 68 to 70 degrees without any issues. The one downside with the heat pump is that it pumps warm air out of the vents in the top of the ceiling. So when we're using the heat pump, the ground actually stays pretty cold. And when it's chillier outside and the ground is cold, sometimes we have a hard time ourselves staying a little bit warmer, but I guess that's what layers are for.
And socks.
And lots of socks.
Once the temperature drops to the low 40s outside, that's when Lauren and I will typically switch from our heat pump to the furnace. The furnace just does a much better job in colder temperatures, and it heats the trailer from the ground up. The reasoning behind that is because the air that is pumped from the furnace is actually contained within the compartments built into the bottom of the trailer. It also does a much better job keeping pipes from freezing than the heat pump does, just because of the way that the furnace air is pumped through the trailer towards where those pipes are stored.
And yes, we realized we did go over time here, but hang with us, we're almost done. From our own personal opinions, we try to use the heat pump as much as possible for a few reasons. Heat pumps have been proven to be very energy efficient. According to the Department of Energy, they use up to 50% less electricity than other electric options to heat your home. On top of their efficiency, they are more environmentally friendly. Traditional heating systems, such as using the furnace, create heat through fossil fuel combustion, resulting in CO2, one of the greenhouse gases. Using the heat pump helps to eliminate our carbon footprint, and we are all about that. Using our heat pump helps us to save the planet, but also helps us to save a little bit of money as well. If we were to be running our furnace during those colder months, we would be using a lot of propane, and we would probably be filling up our propane tanks monthly. So using our heat pumps helps us to save a little bit of cash.
Before we let you go, it's important to note that this looks different for every single person. Whether you use your heat pump or your furnace, greatly depends on what size your rig is, what kind of rig you have, and where you are wintering.
But as we first mentioned, understanding the difference between using your heat pump and your furnace is kind of the first step towards making the right decision for you. As Sam mentioned, for us, using the heat pump just makes a little bit more sense just based on where we live currently full-time in the burrito. It's a little bit more efficient, it helps us to save a few bucks, and it's a little bit more environmentally friendly. So that's our personal decision, but again, we encourage you all to make the decision that is right for you and your needs at the time.
To learn a little bit more about the heating and cooling system that we use and how we monitor temps of our RV while we're away from it, you can go ahead and check out this video here. And we will also drop that link in the description below.
Also, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you found this video at all helpful. And if you have any questions about how to heat your rig or have any comments about how you all choose to heat your rig, please drop them below. We always love to hear from you all. Otherwise, I think that's pretty much it.
That is it.
So happy trails.
Happy trails.